example, we're going to cover the crowdsourcing functionality within MetaLocator. Crowdsourcing is available by one of our add-ons. Be sure that this is available in your account. If you're within your 30-day trial, you can request temporary access to the crowdsourcing add-on if necessary. Before you start, make sure that crowdsourcing is listed in the user information that you have access to. This is a sample account that we haven't made any changes to aside from importing some sample data and creating an interface. One of the things that we'd like to do is add a link where users can claim these individual locations. In this example, we're going to add it right below the send to email function, but it could be displayed in this pop-up or on one of these individual detail pages, depending on your preference. Within the Sleek Design template, we're going to go into Template Settings, and in the Directory Item template, we're going to add the new claim tag. And what I'll do is type claim, and I'm going to add rel equals modal because that will allow it to open in a pop-up window, which I think provides a little bit nicer user interface. And so now we have claim rel equals modal. And I'll save this. And let's preview what we have. So the only thing that's changed is that we have this new claim this location box. When clicked, it presents this account that presents this screen that allows a user to create a user account. Let's complete the form. You can see that the request has been delivered and it's been sent off to an administrator for review. So just click OK. Now back in the MetaLocator control panel, we can go to the User Manager, which is available under the User menu. We can see that Fatika plus Claim User 2 has requested access to a particular location. There's two levels of request. One is the request to create the user account, and then the other is to access an individual location. Before we approve this user, let's go back to the front end and simulate what would happen if they asked for access to another location. In this example, the user has requested access to two locations, but none of them have been approved. Within the User Manager, we can still see that their account is not enabled. However, clicking on the details, we can see that they've requested access to location 1 and location 2. Before we can grant access to either location 1 or 2, we need to approve the user's request for a user account. We can do that by clicking Enabled. That will trigger an email to the user at Fatika plus Claim User 2 to choose a username and password, or rather to choose a password. Once they do so, they'll be able to log in and manage the data that they have access to. Right now, they don't have access to any locations since those individual location requests haven't been approved. Let's go in and approve one of the locations. Notice now we have a green checkbox and that access has been enabled for that one particular location. Now let's log in and see what that claiming user sees. Before we do that, let's take a look at what's going on in our email. As the account owner, we've received some information, and we're also the requesting user. And so as the account owner, we've received two emails. One is for each request for the user to claim a particular location. We've got links here that we can log in and manage those requests directly, and then we can also see the reasons that the user typed in. As the requesting user, we can see that we've received a couple emails. One is based on when we clicked approve. We have the ability to, now as the requesting user, to click on this link and choose a password. I'm going to open this in a new incognito window so that it doesn't confuse MetaLocator since we're already logged in as an admin. I can enter the email address that I chose, and the verification code was automatically populated. Now I get to choose a password. Now that I chose a password, I may log into the site. When I log in as a claiming user, I see a slightly different view of MetaLocator. The first thing I'm presented with is a video that shows me how to manage content. The other item is my All Records screen only shows the locations to which I've been granted access. In this example, we've only granted access to sample location 1. The other option is to create a new record. Let's go back into the administrative portal and let's grant access to that second location. Click to allow. Now if we switch back to the claiming user's perspective and reload this page, we can see that we've been provided access to sample locations 1 and 2. Now that I've been granted access to sample location 1 and 2, I can feel free to edit and manage these as if they were owned by me. The video that's displayed on the dashboard covers how to manage this content. If I save, my edits are published right away. However, if I create a new record, one that has never been introduced before, and I save, I'll see that the location is pending approval, and so it's not published or live on the site yet. As a claim user, I don't have the ability to create or publish new locations. I should say I don't have the ability to publish locations, but I can create them. Only an administrator can approve and publish a location that was created by a claiming user. So if I go back to my administrator's view and I look at all the records that I have, we have a new one that's appeared that was submitted by our claiming user. And that's this record here, and notice that it's not published. I can click to review it and change any information that I want to change. And then when approved, I can click published, and that will be approved. Let's go back in our claiming users view, and let's reload the page. And we can see that this is now approved, and the user has the ability to continue to manage that content. That covers the basic workflow of claiming locations and managing claim users.